You've been stuck on a problem for hours. Every angle, every approach, nothing. And then someone tells you, just sleep on it. And somehow, in the shower the next morning, the answer is just there. Here is what I want you to hold on to for the next 6 minutes. That moment is not coincidence. That is your brain executing one of the most sophisticated cognitive operations in all of neuroscience. And almost no one knows it's happening. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact mechanism behind it. And you'll have a 4-step protocol inspired by recent Northwestern University research to activate it deliberately tonight. Let's build this from the ground up. What sleep really is. Most people think of sleep as the brain powering down, a pause, a recharge. That model is wrong. Sleep is one of the most metabolically active states your brain enters across the entire 24-hour cycle. It is not a single state. It is a precisely engineered architecture, a sequence of stages your brain cycles through roughly every 90 minutes, each performing a completely different function. The early cycles are dominated by deep, slow-wave sleep. This is where your brain consolidates memories, clears metabolic waste, and repairs neural tissue. But as the night progresses, one stage begins to take over. And this is the stage that changes everything. REM sleep, rapid eye movement. The stage your brain spends the most time in during the final hours of an 8-hour sleep cycle. The creative state. During REM sleep, your brain registers near-waking levels of neural activity. The same metabolic intensity as sitting at your desk trying to solve a complex problem. But the pattern of that activity is radically different. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of logic and critical filtering, goes partially offline. The mechanism that rejects ideas as too unusual or too unrelated becomes suppressed. At the same time, the hippocampus begins replaying recent experiences, not as passive playback, but as flexible reconstruction. And the associative cortex, the network responsible for forming unexpected connections, becomes highly active. Think about what that produces. Memory fragments from recent days, actively recombined, with no logical filter rejecting unusual combinations. That is not sleep. That is your brain's most creative cognitive state. Historical examples. Paul McCartney heard Yesterday in a dream. Auguste Kekulé envisioned the ring structure of the benzene while sleeping. Dmitri Mendeleev organized the periodic table after it appeared to him in a dream. For decades, scientists had the stories. What they didn't have was the mechanism. Now we do. Experiment, insight. In a controlled lab setting, participants worked on complex puzzles in the evening. Each puzzle was paired with a unique sound. Most puzzles were intentionally left unsolved. While participants entered REM sleep, those same sound cues were reintroduced. The result? The sleeping brain redirected its active processing toward those specific unsolved problems. Even participants without conscious awareness responded. Their dreams incorporated elements of the puzzles. The cues didn't just reach the brain, they influenced what it worked on. The deeper mechanism. During REM sleep, the brain undergoes a process called memory replay. The hippocampus links experiences across time and context. A conversation from yesterday, a book you read years ago, a pattern from an unrelated domain. These fragments are recombined without the waking brain's logical filter blocking unusual connections. This is why insights from sleep feel elegant and unexpected. They come from a cognitive process your conscious mind cannot replicate. And here is the critical detail. The richest REM periods happen in the final 90 minutes of an 8-hour sleep cycle. Sleeping 6 hours instead of 8 does not cost you 25% of your sleep. It can cost you up to 60 to 70% of your REM. You are not just tired. You are operating without your brain's primary creative problem-solving system. The 4-step protocol. Here is the protocol. Strategy 1. Problem incubation. In the final 10 to 15 minutes before sleep, write down the one problem you most need to solve. Not to work on it, just to define it clearly. Concrete, specific questions activate memory networks more effectively than vague stress. Strategy 2. Sound anchoring. Choose one instrumental piece of music. Play it while reviewing your problem. Then play the same piece softly as you fall asleep. You are building a neural association that the sleeping brain can use. Strategy 3. Protect your final 90 minutes. This is non-negotiable. That window contains your longest and most cognitively active REM period. Strategy 4. The 90-second morning capture. Before your phone, before a conversation, write whatever fragments surface when you wake. Most people overwrite that insight window with notifications. Your brain is not offline when you sleep. It is running one of the most sophisticated cognitive operations it is capable of. Sleep is not recovery from thinking. Sleep is thinking. The mechanism is clear. The research is consistent. The only question is whether you treat your sleep as a tool or as lost time. If you value science-first explanations of how your mind actually works, subscribe to Neurohacks Co. No hype, no fluff, just neuroscience. Clearly explained, practically useful. I'll see you in the next one.